Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Real quick before I get talking, these are our two adventure dogs, Mika and Summit. You guys will see them throughout the part 1 and part 2. Really, you guys see them throughout all the videos. So they're just with us all the time and they always do all the cool adventures that we do. But anyways, we're doing the Arizona trip for our first real video of 2024. We have 2 parts. I won't talk too much on the first one. The second part is mostly the best one. But the first part's still amazing. We find some cool stuff like Chuck Wallas and some scorpions and stuff. So make sure you go check that out. Or I guess check out part 2. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in part 2 for the next intro. So this is a whip scorpion. We saw one quite a while back, but they are related to scorpions. They're very, very fast, and you can see how aggressive this one's being. I don't know much about them. This is only my second one I've ever seen. But they are very interesting, and actually I just now noticed this long thing up front is their antenna, and it's missing the other side. And this one's quite small. They do get way bigger than this. They're non-venomous and don't have stingers, but they're definitely related to scorpions and spiders, all that crazy stuff. They're very interesting, very weird. That's kind of missing one of its legs too. So, yeah, we'll update you guys when we find something else. Very quick. All right, so right now I was out here flipping rocks and I found a tarantula. I'm 100% positive that it's in the hole, and it is a tarantula, but I'm pretty sure it's an Arizona blonde. So what we're doing is we're going to try to flush it out with some water. There she goes. So that is definitely an Arizona blonde. Ooh. These ones are more aggressive than the Colorado browns we have back at home. But this is our first in-hand one we've had. So, oh, no, it went back in the hole. Okay. So there's no trying to flush it out. Okay, so this is our first snake of the trip. It may look just like a worm, I know, but it is just a baby. So this is a variable ground snake. We did post 2 videos on a hunt trip that had a bunch of variable ground snakes. We called it the ground snake day or something. They all had black stripes and orange body running down, but this one has just a tan outer shell with an orange stripe on the top and a black head. Both same species, but that's why they're called the variable ground snake, because they have so many cool variations. And this guy's extremely tiny. Non-venomous. Their main diet is centipedes. Pretty interesting diet. And I haven't looked at his belly yet. Just normal. But yeah, first snake of the trip. And we'll update you to see if we find anything else.
And here we are behind the scenes of Nico Pico Rock Flippin' Arizona edition.
Okay, so right now, we're just taking a nice walk the morning after our little scorpion hunt last night. Weren't too lucky with that. But I just flipped the rock, and this is our 3rd species of scorpion, the deadliest scorpion in North America, the Arizona bark scorpion. I've been really trying to do some research on these guys. We had one in the last Arizona video, much bigger than this, but they're not really all that deadly, but they can kill people, and they have killed people. But mostly their sting is just going to be really, really painful. They're really thin. That's one way you can identify them, is they're very, very thin and not beefy bodied, and they're also super light colored. So they're one of the easier ones to identify, but still be careful when you're outside. So we'll see you when we find something else. Okay, so we're in the northern Sonoran Desert right now. We've been here for quite a while, and we've caught a lot of cool creatures. I've got some scorpions down here that we're just about to do a video on. But we found this cool lizard. It may look just like a normal lizard at first glance, but this is actually a Chuck Walla. You'll see them in pet stores a lot. this is just a really tiny baby. They do get much bigger than this. I believe they do have a diet of mostly plants, and he's kind of slow moving since it's cold out. I did think he was a collared lizard at first because of how like rough his skin is. But if you kind of look along the side, another thing I want to point out is those claws. They're kind of like bearded dragons. They have those claws and kind of a same appetite. A while back, actually quite a few years ago, we found a Walla. It was much faster moving in the sunlight, and it was much bigger. But it got away, so this is a first in-hand Walla for me. But I do think it's pretty cool. These are very common pets around the world. Like most pet shops you'll see do have these guys, but they are different species. This is a wild Walla. So yeah, that is our next species of the trip. So we'll update you guys when we find even more stuff. You want to see the tail? So it kind of has some white bands on there, and it's actually shedding. The skin is just coming off, so he'll be really pretty after his skin comes fully off. Okay, so what we have here is a leopard gecko. Now, this is our fourth one so far, and they've all been pretty tiny. They do get bigger than this, but I just want to point out some cool key features of these guys. This one is a little bit more dull in color, but you can see where they get the name banded gecko. They have all these little bands on their tail and up their body. Now you'll notice how flabby and like fragile looking this gecko is. That's because they're nocturnal, and if they're out in the sun too long, they can burn. So we're gonna have to be pretty fast with this because they're not too fond of the daylight. Also, on their feet, this is the way that geckos climb up glass and stuff. They have these little sticky pads that are not really like glue. They're like little tiny hairs that they can use to stick to glass and other surfaces. When we found this guy, he was sticking to a rock. Obviously under a rock because he's nocturnal, but they eat mostly a diet of small invertebrates and other things, no plants or anything like the Walla just a second ago. But definitely a cool find, one of the more common finds, non-venomous, but definitely very cool to see. I always love them. They're such cool little critters. So I just want to point out some of these beautiful cactuses that we have here in the Sonora Desert. So these are Saguaro cactuses. So this cactus is probably, about 45 feet? This cactus is going to be over like 150 years old. About 50 to 100 years, they have their first arm. And it sometimes can take 10 years to grow just 1 inch of cactus. So you can tell these are definitely very old cactus. They're one of the special things that we have out here in the Sonora Desert. You won't find them anywhere else. And it kind of makes a great scene to have while looking for animals. And also, I have a couple of containers here. I have a striped tail scorpion and an Arizona bark scorpion. And I believe this is the scorpion. Okay. So what we have here is one deadly scorpion and one non-venomous scorpion. Now, these are both very common scorpions in the USA, but this one here on my right is an Arizona bark scorpion. They are the deadliest scorpion in North America. They're not the deadliest in the world, but they are definitely very potent venomed. And I'm just going to point out some differences. So it's mostly a tan color, kind of slender, and its tail and claws are very long and thin. It's also kind of flat to the ground. Now if you take a look at this striped tail scorpion, that's also very common in the USA, but one of the most non-venomous scorpions you can come across. You do not have to worry about this unless you have an allergic reaction. So you can see on its tail and claws, it is much thicker, and also its body is very much thicker. It has a black torso and a red tip to its tail. You can also see on its tail it has some stripes, and same with its claws. So the difference between these two may look pretty similar, but if you know what you're looking for, these are some of the most different scorpions you can find out here. So yeah, we'll update you guys when we find some more cool stuff. Ooh, he's biting. What is this? I don't know. It's not
you
venomous.
holding it?
Look at that. Oh my gosh. I think it's a whip snake, which is a member of the racer family.
What if it's poisonous?
It's not. Are you videoing?
Yes. That's. Ooh,
So,
wow.
it is some species of whip snake. I'm not sure which. It is very angry. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is a surprise. We were just getting out of this little camping spot. Oh my gosh. It doesn't really hurt, but it is biting a lot. This is my first species, or this is my first of this species. I don't know really anything about them. All I know is they're safe to handle. They're very fast, especially when you put them down. Obviously, it's a diurnal species. They kind of just cross the roads and they just like look for. I don't even know what they eat. I can't really do too good of a video on this one.
Right now they're eating necklaces.
Oh my! It's gonna bite the camera. Oh, do you see that? So I guess I can just show you guys what he is. It's definitely a whip snake, but I don't know, my best guess is it's a Sonoran whip snake. I'll have to do some more research on it, but I was not expecting this, so I don't even know for sure. That is so cool. I mean, you can kind of see his nose. It's kind of like a shovel. It's kind of interesting. Oh, sorry, he's kind of biting me. Very angry little snake, but it's very fluorescent and cool. But very surprised. Cool surprise out here. Okay, so we're about to release this Sonoran whip snake, if that's what I think it is. And I just want to show you guys how fast he is. So bye, little sassy guy. It's not going too fast. And you always release a snake the way it was going on the road, if you find a snake on the road. So that's what we're doing here. He was headed this way.
Oh, he's happy now.
Or even is he? So yeah. Nice little